Hey everybody, welcome to Niagara Wine Videos. I'm Brad and I bring you the story behind Niagara's finest wines. And thanks for joining me, and today I'm going to unveil to you my top rosé of 2012. 2012, this past summer was a great summer to go out and taste wines. The weather was absolutely beautiful, mostly every weekend and every day. So I had the opportunity to taste over 30, probably 30, 40 different rosés here in the Niagara region. Rosés becoming a wine that I think more and more producers here in the Niagara region are starting to produce because our natural climate here is a little bit cool, so it preserves that acidity, which is very nice for rosé wines. And I find that it's becoming more popular because they have a little bit of the nuances of red wine in them, but they also have some of the nuances of white wine in them. So it's kind of a perfect mix for people to enjoy in the summer when it's hot out. Also, the price points on rosé are incredibly good. Most rosés come in under $20, even for premium rosés. So that's what I have for you today, is a premium rosé. Came in under $20. Although I tasted, like I said, close to 40 different rosés crafted here in the Niagara region, there was only a couple that really caught my attention, and one in particular that stood far above the others. So, without further ado, the 2012 rosé picked by Niagara Wine Videos for the rosé of the year is a rosé from Reimer Winery. Let's give you a bottle shot there. Now, Reimer Vineyards is a new winery here in the Niagara region. It's only been open for about 2 years, so the exact date it was open was August 1st, 2010. But Art Reimer and his family have been growing grapes here in the Niagara region and making wine for the last 25 years. This is just their first commercial release of their own winery. The Reimer family usually sells their grapes to other wineries here in the Niagara region. So they're a very well-known grape grower here in the Niagara region. Lately, I don't know exactly when the shift was, but Art Reimer has been growing all his grapes organically for quite some time. I'd have to ask him exactly how long he's been doing it for, when he switched over. In the summer, I sat down with Art Reimer, got an interview with him, and reviewed this wine because after I tasted it, I just couldn't believe how amazing it was. And Art kind of went through the organic movement with me and the reasons why he has chosen to go organic. Mainly because it's the most natural thing you can do to a vineyard. A vineyard is part of nature. Grapes are part of nature. Why artificially inseminate fertilizers and other kind of chemicals that just throw the grapevine off balance, is what Art Reimer said. Those types of wines that are made with artificial enhancing fertilizers really make the vine overproduce, and you have to cut off those grapes. And so what's the purpose of that? If you didn't add those fertilizers, the vine wouldn't create these secondary, third, fourth clusters that you're cutting off anyway. Or in some cases, I guess wineries are keeping to make mass production wines, as Art Reimer would call the wines for the Walmarts. And that's not the type of wine that he's interested in making. He wants to make naturally organic farmed wine, something that he is out in the vineyard and takes complete care of, and I think that really transcends into the bottle, because what you get here is really something that is totally different than any of the rosés I tasted out there. The flavors you get are just so natural. They're just so amazing. When you taste other wines, yeah, some of them are really good, but there's always one or two things that stand out as maybe an imperfection. So this wine here, like I said, it was just so natural, so willing almost, so linear in its construction. Everything in this wine was just so amazing. The first time you taste it, your eyes just light up. Wow, that's incredible. It's like no other rosé you've tasted. you know, I would put this up against any rosé throughout the world, and I'd be hard-pressed if any critic didn't give this an amazing score. So, 2009, it's 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. That comes from a very small 2-acre vineyard. There's only 100 cases made of this wine. And I might add, also, which is completely astounding, this is Art Reimer's very first rosé. He's actually never made a rosé before. So this is quite interesting what we have here. It's almost a collector's item when you think of it that way. It won an award in the Finger Lakes Challenge. That's silver, I think. So others have really recognized what an incredible wine this is, you know, not just me. This wine here, the way Art Reimer described it was, you know, in 2009, it wasn't the hottest year in Niagara. It was very overcast, kind of cool and rainy. So the grapes preserved some really nice natural acidity. What he did as a result was he just pressed out the juice. So the very first press is what you're getting for all this juice here. You know, the first press is always the best juice. You know, the most concentrated, always has the best flavors. If you've made grape juice at home, you know, when you take it and you boil it up on the stove and you press it down, it comes out that concentrated juice you get. The very first juice is always amazing, and that's what this is. So afterwards, he incorporated the skins to add a little, impart the color. But most of this is all the first pressed juice. So, you know, like I said, sometimes when people make rosés, it's the leftover juice, you know, it's the afterthought. And that's not the case with this wine. So 100% Cabernet, rosé, like I said, it's very small production, organically farmed terroir. This wine is absolutely incredible. So I'm just going to do a quick tasting for you. I'm going to open up this bottle and I'll be right back. Okay everybody, we're back and I've opened the 2009 100% Cabernet Sauvignon Rosé from Reimer Estates. To show you the bottle again. And I'll pour it up nice and close so you can see the color. And I think you'll be surprised at the color of this wine when I pour it. I don't know if you can see that. Even the viscosity of when you pour this wine, you see it's got a nice almost thickness to it. And I'm going to get into it in a second. I don't want to jump the gun here of what it reminds me of. So I'll show you the color there. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's a peachy apricot, you know, rusty orange color. Really interesting. And again, that's just because of the Cabernet grapes just being pressed, right? Not you know, imparting the skins right away in the fermentation, which you know, most people do to give it that rosé color. This was a first pressed wine, so you get that naturally, you know, when you press the grapes. So you get that really neat color, and in my mind, that is just incredible. You know, you don't see too many rosés like that. So it almost got like, you know, brandy color to it. So going back to the viscosity and how I thought it had that nice thickness to it, when you smell this wine on the nose, it really does smell like ice wine, which, you know, who doesn't love the smell of ice wine? So yeah, on the nose, you get what the color insinuates. You get, you know, a peachy apricot flavor smell. You know, it's just so gorgeous. You get, you know, really subtle vanilla undertones with you know, pepper jelly. So, you know, that really nice pepper jelly that you have with crackers and brie. You get that a little bit in here. Just so amazing, just so beautiful the nose on that wine. So natural too. Like I said, you don't smell any hibiscus flavors, you know, scents. It doesn't smell astringent, you know, it doesn't smell too smoky, like it's been over oaked. It just smells, natural and beautiful. You know, it really, it's the most natural smelling wine I've ever smelled in my life. So let's just give it a taste here. And, even though it smells like ice wine on the nose, it turns into this beautiful, layered, complex, dry rosé on your palate, which makes it really refreshing. And you almost get an apple cider taste on the finish. I mean, this wine, it is so incredible. And it's such small production. Too bad, because I know, people would buy a ton of this wine after tasting it. But that you just can't. There's only 100 cases out there. I don't know what's left anymore. The production, so small. The sales this summer, probably were pretty good. So I don't even know if there's any of this left. You'd have to call right away. Reimer Vineyards, just Google Reimer Vineyards. That's R-E-I-M-E-R. Give them a call and see if they have any stock left. Because it's really the most fascinating rosé I've ever had. Yeah, really neat red pepper jelly flavor in your mouth. It's got a salty minerality to it, actually, which finishes off with an apple cider finish. So really quite intriguing and incredible juice. What a wine. Reimer Estates 2009 100% Cabernet Rosé. There you have it, folks. Cheers. Mm-hmm.